Next item on the nomination papers, Tammy Collins, Representative District 26.
Good evening. Brandon Bell, Madam Chairwoman. Brandon Bell, Chairman of the Rhode Island Republican Party and attorney, and with me to my left is Tammy Collins. Well, we have, Madam Chairwoman, we have 4 sheets, all from West Warwick. This is House 26, Republican candidate. And I believe that there were 48 that were certified by the town of West Warwick in this case. I believe that we'll be able to show you that we have a minimum of 2, possibly as many as 4, but certainly if we can get to the 2.
Let's go with 2.
Let's go with 2. Because again, Your Honor, math, 48 plus 2.
Right.
Okay. I would ask you to start, if you have it in front of you, with the form Danye Mame was the first signature on the West Warwick paper.
So why don't we stop you there, Mr. Bailey? Just
Sure.
we have your letter, as we should mark that as Exhibit A. That's the letter of July 23.
That's correct.
And then Exhibit B should be the actual nomination papers.
Which are currently in the possession of the executive director. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. On that form that Danye Mame was the actually signature number 2, because signature number 1 was crossed out just altogether. The backside of that form, line 4, is a gentleman by the name of Ralph Madonna of 38 Alexander Drive in West Warwick. I apologize, is that 20? I think that's 28 actually.
I think it's 20.
Yeah, 28.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think there's a dispute that he's a registered voter in House 26 at 28 Alexander Drive. I believe that the reason that this was stricken was because of a signature issue. Ms. Collins, who I'm sure you won't put under oath, will tell you that she did in fact get his signature. I did bring some hearsay evidence with me today where the rep from that district, Patricia Morgan, did videotape Mr. Madonna, who could not be here this evening, saying that he did in fact sign Ms. Collins' papers. But I was hoping that maybe if Ms. Collins is under oath, she could tell you. You'll notice when the executive director passes it around, there's some question as to whether or not there was some signature overlap from the above signature, a Denise Lyon, it's from 73 Crestwood.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm no handwriting expert like many people, nobody, I think anyone here is tonight, but I believe there is in fact a signature there. Mr. Madonna, I can represent to the board, did say that he had problems with his hand and that that's the best he could do in signing, but that is his signature.
Yes.
And Ms. Collins is the one that in fact got his signature.
Can we take a look at them? So these are both on the same sheet?
Well, this is one in particular.
You mentioned number 2
yes.
and number 4.
I apologize. Number 3 and number 4 on the back of the back of the sheet with Ms. Mummy was the first one.
For the record, the executive director is showing to members of the board the printout from the database and the nomination paper for purposes of comparison.
That would be exhibits. Is that a separate document?
That's
That is
part
part of B?
Yeah, B. Although I think the printout from the database should be C or 3. We're using
I think it would be Exhibit C. Yeah?
C.
Ms. Collins, if you'll be testifying, would you please stand and be sworn? Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Would you like testimony from her now?
I think that would be
Right.
appropriate,
And
yes.
just so that it's clear, can you just state your full name for the record, if that
Yes.
hasn't already been done?
Tammy Collins, West Warwick.
Okay. And Mr. Bell, do you wish to examine the witness?
Sure. Tammy, did you get your own signatures in West Warwick?
I did.
Okay, and did you go to Mr. Ralph Madonna's house on Alexander Drive, 28 Alexander Drive?
I did. He's a neighbor, so I've known him for years. So I went directly to him, knowing he was a registered voter and a homeowner.
And did he in fact sign, right here on number 4, I'll show you what's been marked by the board, although it's a copy as Exhibit B. Is that Mr. Madonna's signature to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
You watched him sign that
I did.
form?
Yep.
And you are aware that Mr. Madonna was asked by Representative Morgan today as to whether or not he signed that, and
Yes.
he did in fact say that he did.
He did. Yep.
He could not be here this evening though?
Right.
Did you say he had a physical condition?
He had some, he told me he was having problems with his hand. He was in some pain when I knocked on the door, but he did answer because he knows me. And he agreed to sign for me as best as he could with a clipboard. And
And if it pleases the chairwoman and the board, I can play the clip of his video. I realize, very familiar with the rules of hearsay. Judge Erickson has overruled me many times on that issue, but I can.
Well, there's no testimony, to my knowledge, there's no one here to challenge the testimony, so I think it can stand as is.
Okay, fair enough, thank you. So if I go to a second one, unless the chairwoman wants to wait on the first one.
Just about concluded that, right? Do you have a question on that? Anyone?
Mr. Chair, based on the, Madam Chair, based on the testimony of the witness relative to the personal identification of the individual and the explanation of physical disability, I would move that that signature be accepted as a valid signature.
Second.
I say.
Moved and seconded to accept that signature, all in favor? Opposed? That signature is accepted.
On the second page that I'm looking at, the first signature is Richard Purcelli, also from West Warwick. On that form, number 15 was Edward A. Fonseca. I believe, similar to Mr. Madonna, Mr. Fonseca's signature, Mr. Fonseca was deemed to be a registered voter from House District 26. He's at 4 Garfield Terrace in West Warwick. And it looks as though there are other members, or at least one other member of that residence that signed, Rosemary Silva. Again, I would ask to inquire of my client as to whether or not she in fact got that signature.
I did.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Apologies.
Tammy, once again, I'd ask you just to look at what's been marked as Exhibit B by the board. This is a copy. And I asked you, Mr. Fonseca's signature is number 15, 4 Garfield Terrace.
Yes, I went to the door, I spoke with them, and yes, everybody in the household signed.
Okay, and you had 2 signatures from that
Yep.
household, as a matter of fact. Did you actually witness Mr. Fonseca signing that this document?
Yes,
Okay. And you're confident that that was in fact Mr. Fonseca who signed it?
yes,
If I could just ask you a question, do you know Mr. Fonseca?
yes,
Okay, so you have had a prior
yes,
friendship with him, you know him
yes,
as a person in the community.
exactly.
We're talking about signature number 15, the Edward.
Number 15. What's that notation to the left, me, Bob?
Signature.
Also,
Oh, sorry.
Just that that's what their question is.
can just clarify something. She was not present when the Board of Canvassers struck these signatures, is that correct?
Correct.
They do it on an ongoing basis.
Your Honor, I believe these were all done late on Friday, so we didn't find out until Saturday from the Director of Elections, Rob Rock.
Okay. Who was working overtime?
He was working at 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, I can tell you that for sure.
Secretary of State's office did a tremendous job of getting the signature information out on a timely basis. That was very impressive.
It's different.
Any questions? Mr. Bell or Ms. What is the pleasure of the board?
Based on the candidate's affirmation, sworn testimony, I will
Approve the
Moved by
signature.
Mr. Pierce.
Signature.
Signature.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Dr. Ramos to approve the signature. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, ayes have it.
And Madam Chair, I believe that puts the candidate at 58 signatures, and therefore I think at this point a motion to reverse the decision of the Board of Canvassers and affirm her position on the ballot would be in order.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to reverse the decision of the Board of Canvassers. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the ayes have it.
Thank you very much.